Hey, what's up? Welcome. This is going to be our main Sonotubes video. We have a whole series on this. You're going to end up seeing links throughout this whole video of us going into depth on pretty much every stage of what we're doing here. Right now I'm marking the Sonotube out, by the way. These are 18-inch Sonotubes. We're digging them down 30 inches. And we're going to get these installed. It's for a front porch and a back porch. Both are going to be holding up a hip roof. On this, we're pretty much doing this no-step house series, and this is the point that we're at. But either way, this is the Sonotube series. This is pretty much an overview of everything that we had done to make this work. So either way, if you have any questions, let's just leave them down into the comments below. But other than that, I hope this helps. We make these videos. I make them for my children in case they ever want to build like me or their grandfather. So if it's any help to you, sweet, good for you. Looks like we're going to be cutting this Sonotube up. It's always nicer to have two people doing it. One person rolling the Sonotube and the other one actually cutting it with the skill saw. This is our best way, our favorite way. So we're at this auger that we see right here was having issues for us to get it started. So we're going to end up using our vacuum. We're going to dig out the Sonotube with our vacuum here real quick. You can see me vacuuming it up. My dad's just chopping it down so that, you pretty much vacuum till you hit the hard dirt, and then he chops it up, and then you vacuum all that loose dirt out. We're going to get it down low enough to where we can actually use this auger. It sucks that that's what we got to do, but it works real good. Also, another thing that we ran into while we were doing this job is that the Sonotubes, these 18-inch Sonotubes, were a very tight fit with the auger we had. I mean, they barely wanted to go, but we wanted to use our Sonotubes because we wanted to make sure that the dirt didn't collapse in during our pour. Sometimes we feel like we have good enough dirt where it's not going to do that. This time we felt like we need to have the tube to be able to keep that dirt from collapsing. So either way, it was a tight fit. We're going to end up trying to dig it around and vacuum it out and try to make it so the Sonotube can go down even more. But it's kind of a fight, so you'll be able to see us work through it. But we also end up abandoning ship there, and we'll end up using an oscillating tool to cut it nice and flat. Honestly, cutting it with the oscillating tool worked well too, and it worked out great. It worked great, and the Sonotube's going to serve its purpose because nothing's going to collapse in over the top, and that bottom's not going to collapse either. I mean, that dirt's been there forever, so yeah, this is where we decide, yeah, we're just going to cut this tube. I'm going to make it nice and flat around it. All the dirt that I'm going to end up putting on that spot where we're going to end up having a pad will always be road base or some kind of a rock, because we want something because we want our dirt work to work, Okay, so he's got his oscillating tool. We call it the fin tool. Our plumber calls it the wiggle saw. We're going to hurry and cut around this tube. And boom, right there. Perfect, nice and flat. We're going to be able to form right above that. Okay, so we are making it so we can put up our strings. We're just going to be going right off the green plate on this house. Well, it looks like we're going off the sheeting, but we know that that wall is straight and perfect, ready to go. So we're able to use it.
Well, maybe I'll grab some 1 more 2x6.
We're putting in our first stakes here so we can put our string line on them. Remember, your stakes that you're putting your string line on will always be on the in. Your string will always go on the outside.
Right there.
So they won't be in the way of the form.
Yeah.
We just used our level there. To mark it, he's going to be dropping it down 3/4 of an inch so that you can have a nice slope. So if you have any water, rain, snow, that it'll be able to slope off of there. Yeah, we're putting up our string. Again, stake will be on the inside of where the form is actually going to be going.
Yeah. Here comes our lock. Yeah.
We're going to be using 2x4s here. Our pad thickness will be 3.5 inches to 4 inches. He's going to put his stake in first. Put in a nail to hold it to the height. He's going to have his height a little high. Now I'm going to stake my side up. We ended up running into trouble while we were forming this. You got to click on the form video or check out this series so that you can see what we did with these twisty boards so that we could have a nice flat front. So, yeah, either way, you're going to see that's the stuff that we just did. We ended up getting our string up, leveling it, and we're going to form this up. Our board was really, really twisty, so we ended up putting another board on just to hold that into place while we staked it. We ended up using screws just because of that. We also ended up using shims because of that as well. So this ground had so many rocks in it from us using this road base that it was just easier for us to get it right into place with some shims. And like I said, if you want to see more of that, jump on that form video. And it looks like we're going to form out the outside right there. We're going to put that into place. He's going to screw it on in the corner, and I'm going to end up putting on 2 or 3 stakes there. Every 16 feet, on a 16-foot board, you're going to end up having 5 stakes. So, yeah. Okie dokie. So now we're going to begin our rebarring. We end up going with the rebar about 8 inches from each edge. From the form edges, we're going to go 8 inches from them, and then the corner there on the foundation about 8 inches from those, and then we're going to go every other foot with a piece of rebar. So either way, here it's what it looks like when we finished. We ended up doing a rebar all the way across it into place, and we stay away from your edges so you don't have issues there as well. So make sure when you're doing your pour that you lift your rebar up as you go, so that it can be about 1 inch away from the bottom of your pour. And so either way, if you want to see more on the pour, you can check out the video there as well. Really, I only got the video footage from up top that you're seeing here, so you'll end up seeing another job of us doing this exact same thing. We've built this house many times, so either way, cool. Now we are to the point of us installing our post bases. In the last Sonotube video we didn't do it over the top of a pad. If you want to check out that first Sonotube video, check it out here. And in that video we were able to actually put the post bases in place as we were doing our pour, or well, it was after we did our pour really. In this video though, we ended up putting in these post bases afterwards. They are Simpson adjustable post bases that we'll be using. If you want to see more on that, you totally click on the link that I had or check out the series. All the chalk we're going to be using will be orange chalk because that will not stay permanent. It'll wash off pretty much with your first rain, or if you just want to spray it off, you can. Yeah, but these are 4x4 adjustable post bases. You'll see in the description what we put in it. But either way, we're going to install these bad puppies. I'm pretty sure we had to use a 3/4 inch drill, hammer drill, and I don't know, look at the box. You'll be able to tell yourself when you're building it, or whatever post base you decide to use. We're going to blow that out after we make our hole. Clean it right up. Man, it's definitely not 3/4 inch hole. We're going to drill that right in with our impact wrench. Drill that bad boy right on the top, and that post base is ready to go. Okay, so you can see our posts in right there, our micro lam LVL beams. We didn't put that part of us installing that here on this video series. You know, we don't really know. Every project's different, so I mean, if you want to see the way that we did that, you can. Thanks for checking out this video. If you want to go into more depths of how we did our dirt work, how we picked where our sonotubes were going to go, how we dug our sonotubes, how we formed it up, how we poured our concrete, how we did our post bases, our LVL beams. If you want to see more of that, go to the playlist and check out this Sonotube series. Like, subscribe. Thanks for checking us out.